Respected Shri Bishow Parajuli, Representative and Country Director in India, United Nations World Food Programme, and our invited guest speaker of this afternoon, respected Dr. Harjeet Sandhu, Senior Investigations Advisor in United Nations World Food Programme at Rome in Italy, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Punjab Agricultural University and Convener, Ludhiana Chapter of the National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Padma Shri Awardee Dr. B.S. Dhillon, officials from World Food Programme from various countries joining the program, respected directors of the various ICR institutes at Ludhiana and director of the Punjab Remote Sensing Center, NAAS fellows, directors, deans, heads of the departments from Punjab Agricultural University and Guru Angad Dev Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, faculty from both the universities and from the ICR and Punjab institutes at Ludhiana, including from PAU's research stations, KVKs, and Farmer Advisory Service Centers, students, ladies, and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everybody, and heartiest welcome to you all to the 14th special lecture in series organized under the aegis of Ludhiana chapter of the NAAS. Now, sharing a bit about the NAAS chapters. The NAAS has a total of 12 regional chapters spread over the country, and Ludhiana chapter of NAAS covers the states of Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, and Jammu and Kashmir, of which Vice Chancellor Punjab Agricultural University, Dr. B.S. Dhillon, is the convener. The regional chapters of the NAAS have been established for creating awareness amongst the faculty, farmers, and students on the role of agriculture sector in socio-economic development, and among the public in general on the popularization of science, motivating academicians and researchers for developing demand-driven technologies and capacity building in agri sector to meet the current and future challenges. NAAS provides a forum to deliberate on important issues of agricultural research, education, and extension, and present views of the expert community stakeholders as policy input to planners and decision and opinion makers at various levels. So respected all, on 15th of this month, we had online lecture under the NAAS from Dr. Harjeet Sandhu on United Nations World Food Programme towards achieving zero hunger, improving nutrition, and promoting sustainable livelihoods. So Dr. Sandhu had joined from Rome. Today's lecture by our alumnus, Shri Bishow Parajuli from World Food Programme, has also been arranged under the aegis of the NAAS. All of you are aware that this year Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to United Nations World Food Programme, of which Shri Bishow Parajuli and Dr. Harjeet Sandhu, both our alumni, have been key members for achieving the goals set by the organization. Shri Bishow has been serving WFP since 1982. We are highly proud of these personalities as our outstanding alumni of this university who have illuminated the name of the alma mater at the international forum. The award ceremony, all of you are aware, was held only 2 weeks ago on December 10th. So let us all congratulate them and their organization, the WFP, with a round of applause. Now, I invite respected Dr. Navtej Singh Bains, Director of Research PAU, for welcoming our guest and introducing our guest speaker with us all. Dr. Bains, please.
Good afternoon. I extend a warm welcome to all the participants who have joined, and Dr. Cheneja already listed them out, and the small talk discussion we already had was like the beginning of the session already, and that was enjoyable. And so let me take a few minutes to briefly introduce Mr. Bishow Parajuli, our illustrious alumnus and today's guest speaker. Mr. Parajuli was born in 1957 in Nepal, but is truly a world citizen. And it's a matter of great pride for us that he did his BSc Agriculture with plant protection as elective from PAU Ludhiana in 1970s, actually completing in 1978 during the exciting days post-Green Revolution period. And he had a brief stint thereafter as manager in a transport company in Kathmandu, and then bounced back to academics with an MBA at Kurukshetra University in 1981. Soon after, in 1982, as Dr. Chaneja mentioned, Mr. Parajuli joined the World Food Program as Food Aid Monitor in Botswana. And in 1985, he got regularly employed with the World Food Program. And what followed was a series of assignments in Botswana, Rome, Italy, Mozambique, Dhaka, Indonesia, Egypt, Myanmar, back to Italy, and then Yemen, Zimbabwe, and finally India in 2019 as country representative and director of the World Food Program. Mr. Parajuli has worked, as we can see, in a diverse and highly complex socioeconomic and political context towards development, humanitarian aid, and food security programs. All through this coordination, management, planning, fundraising, and implementation of the various programs, Mr. Parajuli was greatly helped by his leadership skills and a deep commitment to the welfare of society. And talking specifically of India, Mr. Parajuli has taken up World Food Program projects on improved nutrition through school meals, food fortification, food diversification, besides fostering South-South cooperation among the countries, and expanding private-public partnerships for fundraising and for food security programs. The great honor and recognition came when the World Food Program was program was conferred the 2020 Nobel Peace Prize. And the linkage is very obvious. As long as there is hunger, there is no peace. So it's indeed a much deserved recognition for the life-saving work in dangerous locations and in dangerous times like the pandemic now that this has been done. And Mr. Parajuli has been a core player for decades in this great work. And we are grateful for this opportunity to listen to him. He will talk on food and nutrition security in the post-COVID world, role of agricultural universities, a theme very close to the hearts of all of us. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Bass, for your nice words, welcoming our guest and for introducing the guest speaker with the audience. So very impressive CV, long service and experience with the international organization. So now it's the time to listen to our respected guest speaker. I invite Shri Bishow Parajuli for his talk on food and nutrition security in the post-COVID world, the role of agricultural universities. Shri Bishow, please. Yeah, excuse me, if anyone has any query, so please post it in the chat box. So we will take these questions at the end of his talk. So yeah, now, Mr. Bishow, please.
Thank you very much, and namaste and sat sri akal ji. It's really, really humbling for me to get this invitation and to join Honorable Vice Chancellor, deans, professors, head of department from the faculty of entomology or plant pathology, where I spend, many months specializing at the Ludhiana. What touches me the most, and what I want to say is my biggest gratitude to the university and my professors for laying a great foundation on me, for me able to contribute internationally, and preparing me to fulfill my responsibility as a leader within World Food Program, as a leader in the UN system, leading development, humanitarian work, and more so specializing and working on food and nutrition issue. So I'm extremely humble and I'm very grateful. In fact, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dillon was my professor of plant genetics during the year of 74, 75. And we had a nice encounter and in Delhi when we were both attending a conference there. So again, I want to pay a huge respect and gratitude to the university, to the professor, to Honorable Vice Chancellor, and all the faculties and friends there. I learn a lot. I am able to use that knowledge and expertise, taking forward. And as you rightly put it, if there is a hunger, as long as there is a hunger, there will be no peace. So therefore, I have witnessed it as we chatted before, the contribution of the Punjab Agriculture University towards Green Revolution. In fact, I have seen every 6 months new varieties of seeds being produced, and the farmers flooding to collect it. And as a part of teaching, we have been in the field with the farmers in different districts. I've joined my friends and gone and visited villages, and I've seen the dedication and hard work of Punjabi farmers. I think that's what has brought the food security in India. The farmers, like in Punjab, Haryana, and others, transforming and improving. I want to say that the India is food secure now, with over, from a importing country to a food surplus and exporting country, and thanks to university like PAU and dedicated farmers like in Punjab, Haryana, and across India. Really, big gratitude for that. And it's not a simple thing. And I would also say that your knowledge and your expertise has moved across the world. I mean, all these 10 countries have worked on, I've left behind the knowledge and expertise you passed on me and to students like me all over. You have been really a great university contributing. So the Nobel Peace Prize, which World Food Program got received, has been a joyous moment for all its 18,000 staff like me and my friend Harjit, and all over across the world. And I would say this should be a pride, and this is a pride, of course, for the government, the partners and friends and institutions like yours, like ours, this university. So it is very humbling indeed. And when we talk about Ludhiana, I feel nostalgic. I've been managed to get in touch with some of my classmates after 40 years now recently, and we have formed a WhatsApp group and communicating and exchanging. I was glad to meet Ramesh Chandji, who is the alumnus also of the PAU. So this is a fantastic journey. I said I have had across 10 countries, different responsibilities, and contributing to food security, contributing to nutrition, contributing to good governance, peace, poverty reduction across all sectors of development. As a For 8 years, I served as a UNDP resident representative and representative of the Secretary General. During that time, I had the honor also to take overall leadership in development coordination. And I would always emphasize the importance of food security and agriculture and support to farmers. The focus of the WFP job, a lot of time has been is on one side, improving access. So the people have the food, those who do not have it. The other side, to ensure that they produce the food and ensure that the farmers get the income. The World Food Program started some 60 years back. It began with supplier of food from surplus country, but over the years now, it is distributing cash. It is buying food locally, and it is ensuring a guaranteed price to the farmers, and it has a significant impact in the life of over 100 million people in about 88 countries we are working on. So this has been a very humbling recognition, this Nobel Peace Prize, because of this work. But side by side, the WFP, what is also doing is bringing the plight of the people who are food insecure. They are, in spite of we have enough food in the world and enough production with good work and research and scientific evolution, like the PAU, but there are still hungry people. WFP estimates 690 million people still don't have enough food to eat, and they go hungry every day, normally. But then there are about 100 or so million which WFP is assisting every day. But with the COVID, there is a concern that this number is going to double to 200 or more than double to 270 million people. And there is a concern, my boss or our boss, David Beasley, is raising as an institution in some countries the challenge of famine and hunger. So this is a very sad story from that point of view. Unfortunately, it's not because that there is no food, but the problem is there is this concern of a lack of stability and conflict, and there is no production, as well as they have no income or jobs to buy the food. And this has been a challenging story. So the Nobel Peace Prize Committee has recognized this work of WFP. One, accessing food to the people in the most difficult places like Yemen, Sudan, Central African Republic, or Chad, or Iraq, or Afghanistan, all sort of complex countries in the most war-torn situation, but at the same time, raising the plight of those invisible faces where the people are still going hungry. Plus, the concern because of COVID, there is a rise in hunger because the people have lost jobs. People don't have the opportunities. The movement is not happening, and there is this concern. And then lastly, also the point in certain countries and conflict situation, the politicians use food as the weapon, and we work to prevent that using food as a weapon, so everybody have access to food, the basic issues. Now, maybe just to say a few things on WFP and India. WFP and India, we have a 50 years of cooperation. And in the past years, WFP was providing support in direct food in major projects like Indira Gandhi canals in Rajasthan, to a white revolution in Gujarat, to a tree plantation in Madhya Pradesh and Odisha, or a various nutrition program supporting vulnerable groups and etc. But then since the improvement in local food production and self-sufficiency, uh, our emphasis has shifted from direct food support to innovation, ideas, demonstrating best practices, capacity building, and working with the states, research institutions. In fact, we have signed an agreement with IIT recently to bring some element of operational research into that, and support find new solutions to the problems. We work in several states where there are huge challenge on food and nutrition, but then we work at the central level with the central government, and it's been an excellent cooperation and partnership. And we have also, as referred, a strong cooperation with private sector as well, who have been supporting with resources and technology to work together with the World Food Program. The concern we have as a humanity is, in this world of plenty and in this world of huge technology, we still have this challenge of food insecurity and hunger and rising malnutrition. So therefore, the need for today is, how do we work as a humanity, as an institution, agricultural university, World Food Program, United Nations, governments, private sector, to address this concern. And that is the challenge of the day. For example, the issues in front of us are the element of conflict and peace, which results in the problem of accessibility. So solving that problem and bringing a peaceful solution, this is number one. Number two is improving income and access for the people, so that they can afford, so increase opportunities. Third is the knowledge and social issues. So to make sure that people have the right knowledge that they must eat diversified food, vitamin, mineral, protein, not just rice or just bread. And there are also cultural concerns which results in, at the certain stage in the life cycle, well, children or mothers, pregnant mothers, they need extra protein and vitamin. They are not eating and they are not getting enough. And then the third part is the concern of climate change. There is an enormous concern of climate change. I was in Botswana, in Zimbabwe. 50% of the population were depending on external food aid for their survival. In the last 1 year I've been in India, I've seen the challenge of cyclone in Odisha, the flooding in West Bengal, Maharashtra, Kerala. So these are real concerns. This has a challenge, and then also the concern of changing weather pattern. The monsoon coming in July instead of July, August, now August, September. So how do we adapt to these situations so we have a right type of crops? The farmers have learned well, and also avoid the consequences, like, for example, the farmers are rushed to catch up the season, or the the policy concern, so to avoid burning of these straws. etc., and then not have the negative consequence of the pollution, like the situation we have in Punjab, Haryana, and Delhi, for example. And then the so what I want to urge is I think we have to look at a new phase of green revolution now, a new green revolution. And I think there is this expectation from universities like PAU, who are leader, who have demonstrated that leadership, and the role, scientists like Professor Dillon, the new generation of scientists, and so we can continue to be food secure, because, for example, now the production of food in India is about 291 million tons, rice, wheat, cereal combined, and then 75-80 million tons, for a 1.2 billion people. Now, in 2050, with the rise in population, what would be the need? Are we prepared for it? So what I know the Punjab University helped to increase the. I used to take a pride in that, to share with others production increase from 1 ton to 4 tons. Or, I mean, Ludhiana was the highest producer of wheat in the world per hectare the time I was there. And I witnessed this green revolution and the capability of the research institutions to manage these. So I think this is falling on us. And country like India, the world is also looking from country like India. It's not only India producing only for India, but India also helping other countries in terms of improve agricultural production, helping accessibility, and improving the whole food system, for example. The example of India's in terms of safety net program, where the needy people are provided with food rations, or the children in the school are provided with the school meals, or the under 5 children through ICDS program are provided with the nutritive foods, fortified foods. So the world can learn from these great examples, and there is that expectation, India coming as a leader, and I see the universities have a huge role to play in the new changes which is taking place. In addition to this, few other issue I want to say is there is going to be, of course, the continuous population rise, and then continuous concern of the urbanization, and land use, and with the climate change, availability of less water. I mean, as Professor Honorable Vice Chancellor mentioned before, the excessive use of water. We have to help find a solution for farmers to adopt to alternative way to make income, the same level, of course, the livelihood part, but something to be sustainable, and we also save the Mother Earth, and the concern of migration. We have witnessed during this whole COVID period how people move, and how, in fact, WFP India, we have been also working with the Ministry of Food on public distribution system, introducing technology, this biometric system, this one nation, one card, approach, and then even like green ATM, these type of technological introduction, and really ultimately looking at how do we improve farmers' income, and protect the earth, and increase the productivity. And I think there is a time, for another round of green revolution, and that is an expectation from really leaders like you, and agricultural universities. I think everyone is looking for that leadership, and innovation, new varieties, different cropping patterns, and maybe looking also at the organic farming part, to maximize into that, so we preserve the soil. We also minimize the use of chemicals, but use more plant-based chemicals, uh, and basically, also having the right type of policies, of course, which can really, at the end of the day, make and break farmers' income, and attraction and incentives towards that. So what I'm saying here is, if we look at um, uh, globally, and United States, Canada, or Russia, or Europe, um, they have reached to a stage in their productivity. Of course, there is a different um, scale at times, compared to in India, or many developing world. Um, but we see the expansion of knowledge and technology. The time I was at Ludhiana, we never had internet. We never had this Google search things, and it was so difficult to learn, except the famous library. We used to go there and research papers, and looking at it. And now everything is at a fingertip, and there should be. So my appeal is humanity at stake, and I think and you have that capability, and you have the organization like us, WFP, UN. We are more, from the point of view of food security, we are more like a stopgap. Uh, we need to pull out ourselves from distributing food and other things, and shift to different mechanism, because there is a need for self, I mean, stability, peace, increase farmers' productivity. I used to see that in Zimbabwe, for example, farmers used to produce like 1 ton of maize, and the marginal farmer, the commercial farmer, used to produce 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 tons, and so, because they had irrigated farming, the others had rain fed, and there was no agricultural input, adequate quantities. Very sad stage of this story. And then the whole extension services, like what you have, in Punjab, and the research institute of PAU, for example. I mean, you do a marvelous job. That wholesome extension services. I remember, I think, the time when those research centers were established, linking up with the farmers and visiting in the early 70s or 70s. So again, to sum it up, what I'm saying is, number one is big gratitude to university for imparting on the knowledge and creating alumni like us and supporting us and enriching us and preparing us to face the world. I have been very humbled to be able to work in a number of countries in difficult situations and serve this very respectable organization, World Food Program, over 3.5 decades. And third is there has been so much evolution and contribution to food security by the agriculture universities. There is enough food produced in the world now, but then with the increase in population, with the changes in climate, with the migration, we need to relook at some of these practices to see how do we prepare to that, and how do we adjust, how do we help the society, how do we ensure global food security, nutrition security, and that's the challenge we have going forward. And I'm sure, with PAU, with the new generation, is ready to face that. And my very best wishes and for the success to the future. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm happy to take questions and respond and answer anything. Thank you very much. Back to you.
So, okay, thank you, Mr. Bishow, for a very lively and informative talk, sharing India's strength and policies, and also flagging some of the core issues towards ensuring food and nutrition security. Many, many thanks. Yeah, now we can take the questions from the chat box. If there is any, I'm afraid there is no question in the chat box, but among the attendees, if anybody wish to interact with Mr. Bishow. So anyone interested in interacting with Mr. Bishow, please.
If nobody, then I will not say a question, but just a point. Mr. Parajuli, with your wide experience working in different regions of the world, and some country most affected by the happenings, say for Rwanda, I don't want to go into detail what happened in Rwanda. What is your advice to PAU for a reorientation of teaching program, training program, syllabi, practical experience, or anything else? How we can produce more Parajulis and Sandhus? There are many Sandhus, I mean Harjeet Sandhu.
No, thank you so much. I think probably the need from the time when I was there as a student, maybe you have already moved forward on those. I never paid attention to, like we used to be given a plot of land to for example, practice ourselves and plant crop, or we used to be taught various crops and soil texture, plant protection, etc. But we did not study much those days in terms of how do we sustainable, how do we really protect the environment, how do we use minimum water, how do we focus on, let's say, plant-based chemicals, for example. How do we also maybe, although we did that, but maybe there is a way to maximize in terms of marketing of produce for the farmers, so they really get maximum benefit through applications, through web-based applications, and they can search the market where the prices are better, and then maybe look at, for example, the crops like herbal plants, which can adapt to the climate of Punjab, or use even green these shades, like, you know, I mean, Israel, hot weather, not much water, but they produce all sort of crops there. So this is one part of it. The second part of it is, I think it may be good. It may be also good to have a linkage, PAU, and have a linkage with the universities in other countries to help extend, because you are already above other average, but you want to improve global food security. You want to contribute to that humanity globally. So for example, you can say that to a university in Nepal, for example, say that, you know, do you need help? We will help you to improve on your syllabus, or we can have exchange students on a few months basis, practical, and or maybe in Africa, let's say Zimbabwe, or as a, you know, there is also the government of India is doing a lot of these Africa-India program and support program in the region. It could be tied up, not necessarily the university. It will cost money to university, but there could be a money injected through that bilateral program, because like development administration unit, which is in the Ministry of External Affairs, has these budget and etc. So the third is also, I want to explore working together, Honorable Professor, Vice Chancellor, to see, as I said, we had a cooperation signed with IIT, similarly to work with you, with the university there in terms of maybe nutrition issues. How do we really help diversify nutrition, or have, let's say bio, you know, food, or wheat produced, or rice produced, or pulses produced with the extra vitamin and minerals, etc. So to work on in producing these type of crop, which really helps to helps address that. I had a meeting with the minister, the Secretary of Agriculture once, and we are looking into that on pulses, for example. So this is the third one. And then the fourth one, I would say, is you know, exposing students more and more to opportunities, and giving them the chance to sort of look at it and encouraging them. I would be happy to come and talk, for example, to the university students to explore working for working for these, you know, Food and Agriculture Organization, other global research institute. So we expand these knowledge and innovation and work on that. Just few ideas, Honorable.
Yeah, thank you very much. Not few ideas, and I will say many ideas, and some of them will be highly useful, and some we are already working. I will come to that later on. And Dr. Sineja Saab, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Bishow, very much. Dr. B.S. Dhillon, Vice Chancellor PAU and convener of Ludhiana chapter of the NAAS, is pleased to award a certificate of appreciation and gratitude to Shri Bishow Parajuli for his wonderful discourse. So I may read out the citation. National Academy of Agricultural Sciences,
Thank you very
Ludhiana
much.
chapter presents online lecture series award to Shri Bishow Parajuli, Representative and Country Director, India World Food Programme, the 2020 Nobel Peace Prize Laureate, Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana, December 24th, 2020. So. Mr. Honorable Vice Chancellor and convener of NAAS Chapter Padma Shri Awardee Dr. B.S. Dhillon for his remarks, please. Dr. Dhillon, please.
Dr. Bishow Parajuli Sahib, Dr. Harjeet Sandhu Sahib, NAAS Fellows, Directors of ICR Institutes, Director of Punjab Remote Sensing, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Guru Angad Dev University, sorry, Dr. Inderjit Singh ji, I forgot initially, my colleagues from Guru Angad Dev University, ladies and gentlemen, it's a matter of great pride and privilege for us to listen Dr. Parajuli, at the same time to have true alumni with us who were members of the team of World Food Programme, which were conferred Nobel Peace Prize this year. I congratulate both of them, and I congratulate again Dr. Parajuli, because we congratulated a few days back Dr. Sandhu, so I want to put both at equal position. And this I will say, yeah, I don't think that, I will not say that we are the only one, but I don't think that there may be many other institutions who had colleagues in the, or alumni in World Food Programme team, which won this. So it is a matter of great prestige, pride, privilege to PAU. I am reminded of another distinction of PAU, which some of the colleagues may not, sometimes we don't just ignore something. PAU is the only university in India, among all universities, not agriculture university, all universities, 700, 800, to have produced 3 director generals of national level councils: Indian Council of Research, then CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and then national level Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education. So I will say that is a great thing for PAU. Yeah, I met, as Dr. Parajuli has said, we met at Delhi. The program was to start, and we were, I think, half an hour earlier before. Only 1 or 2 active organizers, only 1 organizer was there. So I started early from the Ludhiana and was there in time, and he also came. We started talking. A gentleman, extremely polite, very, very humble, soft-spoken, extremely respectful, because I introduced myself, and I was just floored that what type of person he is. But he told me after 10-15 minutes that I am a student of PAU. So yeah, he didn't tell me for some time. And that is, Parajuli Sahib, that was a wonderful meeting. I will not forget throughout my life those 5-10 minutes before you introduced yourself that you're a student of PAU. Yeah, my dear colleagues, you just heard about food, nutrition security after COVID. COVID, as I say, normally there are many discussions, etc. COVID has brought forth 2 points. Food and nutrition are extremely important, and public sector is very important. So agriculture research system fits into that, occupy the number 1 position from that angle, that we are from that. And as Dr. Parajuli said, hunger and peace, they are enemy of each other. They cannot be together. Dr. Parajuli, just I was reading a paper sent by a colleague today itself. And during lockdown, some of the families reduced the food consumption, the bill on food consumption by 80% for some time.
Incredible.
Because of supply or accessibility, or the thinking in mind, okay, let me save something one didn't know that what type of days are ahead. So that was the effect. That was the cough, fear of COVID. So just reduction by 80%, just you can imagine that if you are eating something worth rupees 100 and then it came down to 20%. For that way, it is very heartening to note that World Food Program is concentrating on nutrition, fortification, diversification, accessibility, knowledge also, and climate change. Climate change is another important factor. Though it affects many things, but food comes first of all. And some of my colleagues, one of my colleagues asked asked a question about World Food Program in Punjab. And I thought that that same question will be posed today, but probably they were satisfied by what Dr. Sandhu Saab told. But you must have heard, my dear colleagues from PAU and Guru Nanak Dev University, others from outside the university, that World Food Program is helping in many ways. And we should take advantage of Dr. Parajuli being in Delhi. It is a challenge for us. It's an opportunity for us. So that way, I will come to very important issues have been brought forth in response to my query. First of all, conservation agriculture. Yeah, Dr. Parajuli, you are very right. In the beginning, we were not that much worried about sustainability. That was really a missing point. But there are some persons. Dr. Parajuli, you must be remembering Dr. Atwal, who was Dean College of Agriculture, later on he became Dean PG. So I think
absolutely remember.
He in 1978, there was a symposium at PAU, and he said the way we are using water and the way the area under ice is increasing, it will create ecological problems. Then mid-80s, many soil scientists, they started talking about water shortage, and Dr. Prihar Sahab, SS Prihar, a great scientist, another great scientist, he wrote along with Dr. Kheper from engineering and some other colleagues a booklet that water is going to be very serious. That is published in 1991. Though some of the scientists were sensitive, but PAU on the whole, I will agree that, oh no, we were not that sensitive. And we also didn't create that much sensitivity among the farmers. Though Dr. S.A. George submitted the report in 1985 on versification. But I'm very happy to tell you that PAU was, as told by my colleagues, Dr. Harminder Sandhu, who is now working in Visa, Bottle Insurance, South Asia, sometime in, I think, 2012 or 13, that PAU is the first university to have a course on conservation agriculture. We started in 2012.
Okay, great.
And it was announced in a Congress on conservation agriculture in Australia. So he told me we are the first, but I will say that we are among the first. So we have taken that step in our curriculum. Similarly, the second one you mentioned, marketing. You have hit the head of the nail. Really, we are very bad. But again, the alumni of PAU, well-wisher of PAU should be happy that we have already started a center on marketing research at Mohali. And Government of Punjab has given additional money for this. After many, many years, the Government of Punjab has sanctioned 7 more posts of scientists. That center has started working at Mohali. We chose Mohali because there we will be able to interact more with the Mandi Board, etc., OPIDA, at Ludhiana, that isolation, university work in isolation of productivity without input use, I mean, sustainability issue, keeping in mind, of course, input use actions we always talked. Next point, which you said, herbal. Yeah, we could do very good work in mentha and turmeric. It is a spice, I will say, but again, turmeric good. But on the whole, Dr. Navtej, we should lay more emphasis, and also new crops which can be raised in stress environments, what type of it is. Second point, Parajuli, Dr. Parajuli, you raised again, we will need your help. MOUs with foreign university, we have many. Some are working very well, some are not working that much. But you touched Africa, and I also wanted to touch that. Since 2012, we are trying, but without any success. Even Dean Postgraduate Studies has visited New Delhi, but without any success. Idea was simple, that agroecology of Africa is similar to India rather than Europe, Western Europe or America. Then cost of implements, etc., will be much cheaper if they import from India compared to Western Europe or USA. So with that idea, the proposal, which we could not make any progress in spite, I will say, good efforts, I will not say outstanding efforts, good efforts, good hard work without any fruit. We proposed PAU College of Agriculture and Engineering together, both things. So we will be in touch, and maybe
I would be, Honorable VC, I would be very happy to help on that, because there could be two ways. India and Africa Summit is taking place next year. And agriculture should be one of the area to learn. In fact, I was invited to address Africa-India cooperation at ORF, Operational Research Foundation in Delhi. And this is a topic came in, and Ramesh Chandji was part of that. It's also your alumni. He's in a good position to help play that role. So we'd be happy to work together with the MEA on this, Honorable Vice Chancellor.
so these are some issues which, again with the IIT, you said on pulses and diversification nutrition. Again, we are working on it, and we will need your help from that also. And we will be inviting you, and you please spare time for us and motivate our students and staff to think globally and work globally. Yeah,
I would be more than humble.
That's extremely important. And my dear, I will just say for the knowledge of my colleagues, Dr. Parajuli has said they are supporting innovations, demonstration, good practices, etc. So let us take advantage of Dr. Parajuli. And Dr. Parajuli, you said that you feel nostalgic when you think about Ludhiana. We will give you opportunity. You please give us the time. Huh?
More than happy. More than happy.
Visit us frequently. I want to talk more and more, but there is another program lined up with ICR. So I beg your pardon to stop it over here.
No, thank you very much.
I will say that we profusely thank you. We are extremely happy that you delivered a lecture. We are extremely proud of you and Dr. Harjeet Sandhu. And I challenge to my colleagues at PAU to produce more Parajulis and more Harjeet Sandhus. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Very humble. I will be delighted to come there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
and thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you, Dr. Tillon,
Thank you very much.
for talking so much. And of course, we would love to, both of us, we often talk about that. We know you are leaving, but we both often talk that someday we should go there and jointly make. But if you have, give me less than 2 minutes, I am posing a question to both, not for no response, but we may think over that quickly. Because
yes, please.
India has moved from WFP's food aid to food assistance, and we keep on talking of Achhe Din and India shining and a lot over that. I'm not talking in my official capacity. As a personal, as a student of PAU, I'm asking this question. On Human Development Index, India, we are going from bad to worse every year.
We used to be like 124, 126 position. I asked this question to the President Abdul Kalam when he came visiting Holland, and we organized something. He has written some book. Then again, it was that time 126, and now India has become 131. So Human Development Index, we have become 131 out of 189 country. On Global Hunger Index, we are 94 among 107 countries. So every year we are going from bad to worse. And on the other hand, we say we have sufficient food, which is sufficient for everybody in that. And paradoxically, we say 21% of them are suffering from food insecurity. So what can we do to reconcile these things? I mean, I know agriculture product is one aspect only, but how can we improve at least at this top? Because every year it is going down. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Sandhu sir, you raised a very important issue. I will not respond in detail, but I request Dr. Shaneja to be in touch with Dr. Sandhu and let us have a webinar. Let us invite 4 or 5 experts on Human Development Index or from World Hunger Status, etc., etc. And let us have a webinar and discuss these issues. These are extremely important. There are news in now newspapers that Bangladesh is doing better than us.
Yes.
So we don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. But let us also try to do better than what we are doing. Yeah, it is really a dichotomy. On one side, we say we are making progress. On the other side, we are coming down. I share your views, Sandhu sir. I share.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we'll discuss.
Yeah, sure. Thank
So
you.
thanks a lot, sir, for your enlightening, visionary, and valuable remarks. So your words are always very thought-provoking and motivating. So thank you very much. So now I request Dr. Shamik Kapoor, Dean College of Basic Sciences and Humanities, PIU, for proposing the vote of thanks. Dr. Shamik Kapoor, please.
Thank you, Dr. Chuneja. Dear all, I have been assigned this very pleasant duty of proposing a vote of thanks on this occasion. First of all, I'd like to thank Shri Bishow Parajuli, Representative and Country Director, India for World Food Program, and our alumnus for today's lecture on food and nutrition security in the post-COVID world, the role of agriculture universities. Sir, your lecture as part of the NAAS series of online lectures has been very informative and motivating, especially for the young researchers and the students. It gives me great pleasure to express my gratitude to Dr. Baldev Singh Trilogy, Padam Shri Awardee and Vice Chancellor, Punjab Agriculture University, for presiding over this lecture and for having spared his valuable time. And I'm sure his presence here will go a long way in motivating one and all, and to excel further in all disciplines, whether it's academic, research, or extension activities. I would also like to thank Dr. Inderjeet Singh, Vice Chancellor Gadwasu, Dr. Nichiket Kotwaliwale, Director CIFET, Dr. Rajbir Singh, Director Atari, Dr. Sujay Rikshit, Director IIMR, and Dr. Brijendra Pataria, Director Punjab Remote Sensing Center, for participating in this important lecture series. I'm also highly thankful to Dr. Harjeet Singh for joining once again. Sir, your lecture last time also was very informative, and we are highly thankful you could join today also. I'm also thankful to all NAAS fellows for gracing the virtual online lecture. Lastly, I'd like to express my gratitude to the deans, directors, officers, heads, faculty, and students of all the institutes who have participated today. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and namaste. All the best.
So thank you, Dr. Kapoor, for your nice words of gratitude. So with this, we come to the end of the program. So thanking once again one and all. Good day, goodbye, and Jai Hind.
Goodbye.
All the best. Bye-bye. Namaste.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Stay. Bye.